What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So we're back here today with another tier list video, and today we are ranking the 2020-2021 rookies. So basically, we know about a whole year and a quarter of most of these guys, and we are going to make some nice overreactions, still overreactions. Like, nobody's a bust, but you're kind of starting to get, all right, like, are they going to be injury prone? Are they a superstar? The whole 9 yards. I've ranked it into face of the team. Like, they could be a face of a franchise one day. Really good. Maybe an all-star one day. Starter, like Eric Gordon, you know, somebody that, you know, isn't an all-star, but a good starter. Solid bench piece, could just be in the rotation and will be a bench guy for the next 10 to 15 years. Still don't know means they've either been injured, they're still very raw as a player, and needs like the next 2 years of their rookie deal, and then won't make it past the first deal. I guess is the closest thing to a bust. I mean, I just don't think they'll get extended by their current team, and they'll probably bounce around the G League, maybe play overseas for a couple years, something like that. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And there's some guys that I might need to look up a little bit, because like, I mean, like, there's some second round picks here that it might take me a minute to get their face down and be like, oh, that's like, you know. So I'm pretty sure the first guy we have is Aaron Nesmith, and I think he's a pretty easy guy to rank. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter, but I think he'll definitely be a solid bench piece because of his 3-point. I mean, like, he hasn't been off to a great start this year, but I think his 3-point shooting is still solid enough where he will be a rotational guy off the bench one day as a 3-point shooter. Poku is, I don't know. I don't know. The only reason why I say this is because Poku is still so young, and when you watch him, he has flashes like, oh my god, this guy could be a 7-foot small forward that could shoot, that could ball handle, and then other times it's just like, I don't know. And you could say his efficiency has gotten worse this year, which is a little scary. His free throw percentage is down. I'm gonna say I still don't know on Poku, but he has been bad. He has been. I don't know why they don't put him in the G League more. I guess it's like a young team. You might as well just get him minutes against NBA talent. I don't know. It's a little risky. Next up, we have Cassius Stanley, and I honestly don't think Stanley will make it past his first deal on the Pacers so far as a second-round pick. Next up, we have Anthony Edwards, and he is going to be a face of a franchise one day. If you could say he's already the face of maybe the Timberwolves, but obviously you got Karl-Anthony Towns. But either way, wherever he goes, he'll most likely be the face of the team. So a lot of these guys, I'm just going to have to, like, remember who they are. But so I'm just going to go through the guys that I definitely know, like, by their face. Like Cole Anthony. Ooh. I think Cole Anthony could be an all-star one day. I really do. I think he's good enough as a passer and as a shooter, and even just as a ball handler or as a combo guard. The only knock on him, I guess, is his 6'2" frame. Could he ever be a 2? But he's off to a great start this season on a really bad Magic team, and I don't think it's necessarily empty stats on a bad team. I think Cole Anthony can be an all-star. Maybe it's my UNC bias to me, but he's really good. I think Desmond Bane will never be an all-star, but he's just too good of a shooter and too smart of a player already to not be a starter for the next 15 years in this league. All right, next up we have, I don't know, let me just pick somebody out. Isaac Okoro. Ooh, do I think Isaac Okoro could be a starter throughout his career? Or do I think he's going to be just that solid, like, defensive specialist bench piece? His offense has not came along so far. His field goal percentage has dropped. His 3-point percentage has dropped. I know they don't really run a lot of plays for him there, but he does get a lot of 3 attempts. Maybe I'm going to be harsh on Isaac Okoro. I might switch some of these guys later on, but I'm going to have Okoro in solid bench piece. Quickly, I think will also be a solid bench piece as like a combo guard, shot creator. Maybe he'll be a starter. Now, I'm going to have Quickly in the starting tier because he's been arguably like the Knicks' like 3rd best offensive player this year behind, I guess, Rose then Randall. I mean, like maybe Burks too, but I don't know. His efficiency's all right. He's never going to be a good field goal percentage, but he's a good 3-point shooter. He's a spectacular free throw shooter. He's been better as a playmaker, I'd say, this year. So I'm going to say Quickly could be a starter in the long term. I think definitely Isaiah Stewart will be a starter, just kind of as a center. Wiseman, as of now, I think he'll be a starter throughout the league as a, I don't know, like who's going to be better in the long term, Stewart or Wiseman. It'll be tough to kind of figure that out. So next up, we can have, Nico Mannion, already playing overseas. I think Peyton Pritchard is also a solid bench piece. Just like that smart guard that doesn't turn it over. I could see that. I think the only 2 face of franchises will be LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards, but it's pretty good company right there. I mean, yeah, the number 1 and number 3 picks in the draft. Already probably, like, Lamel's the face of the Hornets. Edwards technically isn't because it's Cat, but you know he's basically going to be there for the long term. Next up, I would say the third best player in this draft is Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe I'm being high on Cole Anthony, but I don't think so. I think Cole Anthony could be just as good as Halliburton. Both could be All-Stars one day. Don't really know how definite that would be. Obi Toppin, I think he'll be a solid bench piece. I don't really know if he could be a starter in the long term, but just kind of that spark off the bench, a pick and roll master, and just a good rim roller with a nice playmaking guard. Next up, we have Sadiq Bey, and I think Sadiq Bey will... I don't know if he'll be an all-star one day, but I think he'll be a good starter as a three-point shooter. I honestly don't know with Killian Hayes. He could not make it past this rookie deal because he hasn't been off to a great start here in his full rookie season because last year he didn't play much. I think Precious Achiuwa will be a solid bench piece as a backup big. I don't know if he can ever be really that long-term starter. Udoka Azubuike. I mean, I haven't really seen much of him or just heard much of him this year. And I feel like when I watch, it just seems like he's been hurt and like he's barely played. I mean, do I honestly think he makes it past his rookie deal? I want to have good predictions here, and I don't want to be safe and be like, oh, I still don't know. I want to put as least amount of players here as possible. So I don't think Azubuike's going to make it past his first deal with the Jazz. Like, sign one-year deals. Maybe he'll be a good player still. I'm just going to think he might bounce around a little bit. Next up, we have Devin Vassell. Do I think Devin Vassell's going to be a starter? Or do I think Vassell's going to be a solid bench piece? Because I think his defense, like Okoro, will be valuable to a lot of teams. Yeah, what am I talking about? Goddamn starter. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Patrick Williams, do I think Patrick Williams is going to be an all-star? Like, it sucks he's out for the year. I just want to see his measurables again. I don't know why I'm typing in Williams. Like, there isn't 30, Williams of all time. I don't know. Like, who do I think is going to have a better... Like, which Florida State wing is going to have a better career? Vassell or Williams? You would say Patrick Williams. I think he's in the starter. Honestly, I was so big on Vassell coming out of the draft. Do I say Vassell's going to be, real good? Really good doesn't mean all-star, maybe, a top-end starter. But I think right now we have kind of these tiers at the moment. RJ Hampton... I don't know. RJ Hampton's weird, because, he's a great... ball handler, and I think he's semi-smart, good basketball IQ for a 20-year-old. And he's already been traded. I don't know. He's a good three-point shooter, though, which is, I think, going to give him a career. So I don't think I'm going to put him in still don't know. I think he's going to be a good bench piece, a solid bench piece throughout his career. Who else in here do I feel like could... I want to give, all the impact guys right away. Denny Avdija has actually been a good defender this year. And I think, minimum... He's going to be a solid bench piece throughout his career. And you know what I mean? He doesn't get a lot of volume, so I think, he'll be a solid bench piece. For Onyeka Okongwu, I really still, don't know about him. Because, he's just barely played. And he's currently hurt, so definitely still in the don't know. Jayshawn Tate is definitely going to be a solid bench piece. Maybe even a starter throughout his career. He's a little bit weirder because he's older. I think he could be a starter on a good team. Trey Jones, I don't know, because he's good enough with a high enough basketball IQ where I think he could definitely be worth a second contract. Kyra Lewis, I still don't know what's going on with him. Tyrese Maxey, all-star. I think he could be an all-star one day. Yes, that's another player. I don't know what took me so long to put him in that tier, but yeah, I think he's even better than Cole Anthony will probably be throughout his career. Jalen Smith is already not making past his first deal. It sucks he hasn't played a lot, and I don't know if he's going to get extended or just maybe traded to a different team, but I don't think Josh Green makes it past his first deal. To be honest, after his rookie year, I thought he would, but I don't think Teo Maledon makes it past his first deal either. He's just been that bad this year. Malachi Flynn, though, I think he's going to be a solid bench guard, backup guard throughout his career, kind of like Peyton Pritchard. Even though he hasn't been great this year, I still think it's going to be there for him in the long term. Jordan Orwell for the Milwaukee Bucks, I think, could also be a bench piece throughout his career as long as he can consistently knock down threes. Call me crazy, but I think Xavier Tillman could eventually be a starter one day for some teams. I think Jaden McDaniels could also be a solid bench piece. Maybe a starter if he hits his full potential. But I think, maybe more of a bench piece. And now I'm looking for one specific player, and I can't find him because I don't think his hair is accurate. Or I believe that's him right here, Zeke Naji. I think Zeke Naji could be a solid bench piece throughout his career as well. And I think that's it. I pretty much named every first-round pick. I guess Campazzo can also be a solid bench piece throughout his career. I'm not noticing Leandro Balmaro in here, but I apologize if I'm just completely glossing over him. But yeah, I named pretty much every first round pick and second round picks that have maybe done something. But I guess I could also throw in Kenny Martin Jr. in there. I think he would be a solid bench piece throughout his career. And Saban Lee, I unfortunately don't think he makes it past his first steal. So yeah, that is pretty much every first round pick and second round pick that has maybe played some meaningful minutes so far, or I thought that was worth mentioning. Sorry if there was somebody here that you thought I should have mentioned, or maybe I should have, and I just glossed over it. I apologize. I really don't know why I included Mannion and Cassius Stanley in there, but I did. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.